This man ate his own eyeballs after committing a horrific crime. Welcome back to Crime and Cosmetics. My name is Hannah. We're girly and we're weird, so grab your lip gloss, have a seat, and let's spiral. If you like content like this, make sure to hit follow and let's get into today's case. This case is one of the most disturbing and psychologically complex cases ever tied to the US prison system. To really understand how this case spiraled into one of the most extreme incidents of self-mutilation, we have to go back years before the ever happened. Long before 2004, Andre Thomas had a documented history of severe mental illness. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia and experienced reoccurring hallucinations, paranoia, and intense religious delusions. Family members reported that he would hear voices and speak about spiritual warfare. He was actually hospitalized multiple times due to his deteriorating mental health, and medical professionals had already flagged that his psychosis was serious and ongoing. Despite this, he was still living in the community without long-term consistent psychiatric stabilization. So at the time, Andre was married to Laura Boren, and the relationship had become strained and very unstable. As his mental state worsened, his behavior reportedly became more erratic and increasingly influenced by these false religious delusions. Then came March 27, 2004. That day, Andre broke into Laura's home. Inside this house were three people: his estranged wife, their 4-year-old son, and her 13-month-old daughter from a previous relationship. All three victims were to death inside the home. Evidence suggested the attack was frenzied rather than calculated. Andre did not attempt to create an alibi or hide the crime scene. Instead, he fled and was later found wandering nearby, covered in blood and behaving in a way that officers immediately recognized as deeply abnormal. While he was held in jail awaiting this trial, his mental state did not improve. In 2008, something happened that shocked even veteran correctional staff. Andre gouged out one of his own eyes while inside his prison cell. Yes, he removed his own eye. Medical reports later indicated that he believed his eye was sinful and that removing it was tied to his delusions and internal psychosis. And disturbingly, this was not an isolated incident. Years later, still incarcerated and still experiencing profound psychosis, Andre removed his remaining eye during another episode and reportedly consumed it. Yes, you heard me right. Ate his own eyeball. His defense team repeatedly argued that his long history of psychosis showed that he had been profoundly mental ill well before these ever occurred. However, prosecutors maintained that he was still legally responsible for his actions, and in 2005, Andre Thomas was sentenced to death. Today, Andre Thomas still remains on death row, blind after removing both of his eyes. When you step back and look at the full timeline, the case becomes less about a shocking headline and more about a deeply uncomfortable, systematic question. The crime itself was horrific and irreversible, but at what point does severe, untreated psychosis become a medical crisis rather than just a criminal one? I don't know. What do you think? Let me know below. That was all for today's case, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.